guys, what's going on? It's Meshi with Path to Wellness with Meshi. Welcome back for another video. Today marks the full moon in Libra, so naturally we are diving into another full moon release. Not only today is a full moon, but today also marks the start of spring equinox, as well as it's a supermoon. So we're going to be talking about all of that. We're going to go through a meditation and a release for the full moon ritual. And we're going to talk a little bit about what lunar cycles are, how will it potentially affect you, and I will give you some resources in the description so that you can check it out how it affects your zodiac sign. But just in general, what does really the full moon release mean to you? So if you wanted to kind of join me in this journey, then just stay tuned and let's get started with the video. So it's been a hot minute since I have done a moon ritual, and mainly because I wanted to take a moment to just breathe. Obviously, when we're talking about Mercury retrograde, we're still very much in full effect of that, at least for another week or so. So I have definitely noticed energetic shifts that are sort of taking place. But I thought that since the spring equinox it symbolizes the start of spring and the end of winter. It sort of symbolizes fresh beginnings and new fresh starts. I thought that this was a perfect time for us to not only celebrate spring, but also to really just get a little bit more focused on, how to bring that balance back. Speaking of balance, you are going to notice that today we are marking the full moon as we are entering into Libra. And Libra tends to be a sign that it kind of looks at balance and it seeks harmony and equality, and it's especially going to be true within relationships, but in all areas of your life. I will be leaving links in the description of where you can go to sort of find out how it affects sort of your zodiac sign, because obviously I'm not an astrologer. I'm sort of just learning as I go, and I sort of end up sharing, what I kind of learned along the way. I thought that this would be a really nice way where you will notice that I am changing up a little bit of how I actually do moon rituals. You can also let me know in the comments if you are interested in this setup versus how we usually do it. So I was thinking that in this cycle around, I will be leaving a downloadable link in the description. It might not be available today, but it will definitely be available between today and tomorrow. So just keep an eye out for the description box. But I thought that I would give you some journal prompts where you can sort of get a little bit deeper with your release. And in each month, we can focus on a different characteristic or a different belief system that is no longer serving us. For me, for the month of March, the thing that I'm going to choose to release that is no longer really serving me, that I have completely outgrown, is the need to constantly project and ask people to change instead of accept them for who they are, where they're at, and really just disconnect from that belief system that I cannot be happy, or I'm not allowed to be happy, or I'm not deserving of happiness, or I'm not deserving to progress further if other people are behind, or if other people in my life are not choosing to make progress, or they're not choosing to sort of move forward. And maybe you have some people in your life that are just like that as well, where some people are more resistant to change than others. And you know that if you want to evolve, you need to make some changes, and you need to accept that certain things need to be left behind. Certain belief systems need to be left behind. So for me, I've been noticing that a lot, that even though I would make progress in my own wellness journey, then I would constantly put that projection onto other people that they need to come along as well, and they need to change as well. And if they don't, then I sort of feel stuck. You're never stuck, first of all. But So this is sort of what I'm choosing to finally release and let go of. Maybe you will join me on this. Maybe you are finding certain things in your life that also are ready to be let go of. Like maybe you have been projecting some of your belief systems or whatever the case may be. I'm hoping that you will join me on this. And actually comment below and let me know how, if at all, this relates to you. Because we all have things that, you know, we outgrow belief systems that they just don't really serve us as much. And I thought that it's such a beautiful way for us to just shift into spring and really welcome the sunshine, welcome the new beginnings. To me, spring is always sort of that fresh reset, that you know, fresh bright smile, you know, like when somebody comes into the room and they just have that beautiful energy about them that you can't help but, you know, be uplifted. This is sort of what spring always represents. That and a whole lot of rain, but we're not going to worry about the rain. We're definitely going to be focusing on the sunshine, and today is such a perfect day for that because it's a beautiful sunshiny day in Canada. And like, if you are in Canada, you are welcoming that, like, take me sunshine, take me everywhere you need to take me. So I hope that you are celebrating the full moon. I hope that you are going to be creating, or maybe a video such as this one will just sort of give you a brief introduction of how you can enter into really creating those beautiful rituals that ends up serving you better. So without further ado, let's talk a moment about lunar cycles. If you are brand new to lunar cycles, or what does that really mean? It's nothing hippity hoppy. It's very simple. Basically, when you are following the lunar cycles, you're following the phases of the moon. There are 8 phases, and the most significant ones are usually the full moon and the new moon. New moon represents new beginnings, a fresh start. This is sort of when things are quiet, you go within, you sort of do some reflections. Full moon is when everything is illuminated, everything is in full energy. Everything is sort of like things sort of become more clear. You might be able to see certain directions a little bit more clearly than others, but this is also the time when you look back on your initial intentions that you set for the new moon, and then you can sort of do a little self check-in and reflect of sort of what is still in alignment and continue that on, and what are things that are really no longer in alignment because you have outgrown them. As we change and we evolve, especially as we're shifting from season to season, you may find that certain things are in way more alignment than you ever thought that it would. And you may also find that certain things that you used to do, that you used to love, that you used to be just like super passionate about, it's no longer really doing it for you. So this is the full moon. If you are going to be a little bit more in tune with it, this is a perfect time for you to kind of tune in and see sort of where things are at, see if anything has shifted for you. And, you know, like the more in tune you become with nature, obviously, the more you're going to be able to work with those energies. And then that way you're not always in push mode, but you sort of learn when to rest and when to sort of move forward. And then that way you're working with nature's energies rather than against it. So that's sort of the zest of lunar cycles. Now, as far as the ritual is concerned, I will take you over to the next clip so I can show you what I'm going to be using. Keep in mind that this is only an example. Use whatever feels right for you. Use whatever feels more aligned for you, because really it's your ritual, and obviously the more you do them, the more you will sort of find what resonates more than others. I definitely like to appeal to all of my senses, so I like to use incense or essential oils or perfumes that I can kind of smell. Like, I really want to make sure that my senses are all sort of intact. I like to use candles, obviously crystals. I like to use different types of meditation music so that way my mind and my body can be in that state of relaxation, where really I'm working hard at creating that environment where my body can actually tune into the energies. So this is sort of how I work. You really don't need to do any of that. If all you want to do is just follow me along in a guided meditation that I will take you over to in a couple minutes, and you just sit in a chair, close your eyes, that's totally fine too. Don't ever feel obligated that you need to match someone word for word, crystal by crystal, so that you can get the same effects. Ultimately, just the fact that you are here and that you're open and receptive is enough. So celebrate yourself for just even showing up to this video. I mean, like, welcome. I'm so glad that we are connecting, and thank you for allowing me to be in your space and just kind of share my own practices with you, because I hope that it serves you. So first things first, before we do anything else, and before I even do a voiceover on that clip, the first thing that you will need to do is open up all of your windows, because if you do have a sage stick, then we're going to be cleansing the space. So before you do any type of ritual, you always want to make sure that you sort of reset the energy, because whenever you're doing cleansing, you can do it two ways. You can use actually three ways. So you can use sage, as in a sage stick, a dried up sage stick. You can also use sage essential oil if you have it, or you can use a singing bowl. So I haven't talked about this before, but I will show you what it looks like. And sound and vibration also ends up cleansing and neutralizing the energy. So I'll show you what it looks like. So this is a singing bowl. It kind of comes with like a little stick like this. It's a very beautiful, beautiful mandala in there. And basically what you do is you just put it in the palm of your hand, and I'm not sure how much this will pick up on the microphone, so don't mind me if it's super loud, but we'll try. Beautiful, right? So you can either use something like this, where the vibration that you get from the singing bowl ends up neutralizing your own energy, as well as the energy within the space that you are in. And then after that, we're going to go and sit down. I'll put some music on, and then we can get started with the meditation. And at the very end, we're going to take some time to reflect and see what came up, if anything. We're going to write down all the things that has come up during the meditation, but also your initial thing that you're choosing to release, that is like ready to let go of. We're going to have to write that down on a piece of paper, and then we're going to take that outside and actually burn it. And that sort of symbolizes energetically that you're physically releasing and destroying that part of you that is no longer really in alignment. So if that sounds good to you, then just let's hop on over and let's get started with setting up. So first things first, we're going to be cleansing everything here. So I am just lighting up the sage stick. I started adding some dried up lavender to it, and oh my goodness, it's so nice. So clearly just make sure that the smoke goes all the way around all of your crystals, especially the larger pieces. And then momentarily, we're also going to just cleanse not only the crystals, but the space, and then of course ourselves as well. Here I just wanted to make sure that all of the crystals that I already had out, then I can just get those guys cleansed as well, you know, because we're already here. I wanted to make sure that the smoke goes all around, especially around my hands. But really, you want to be careful so that you actually don't burn yourself, and make sure that you open up your windows so that all the smoke can dissipate from the room. Okay, here's what we will be using. I'm using 2 selenite wands. I have this brand new citrate piece as well as an amethyst piece. They're beautiful. And then I'm using a large rose quartz. And I have a couple of candles, obviously a lighter, and something new. I'm going to be using some essential oils because we're going to be making some blends for the room. So I'm using bergamot, cedarwood, and lavender. And then you'll just need a bottle. So first I'm adding in some lavender. I already had some lavender put in an older bottle that I had. A couple drops of cedarwood. So just add that in the bottle. We're going to just dilute that with some water, and I have a topper for the bottle, and then we can just use it as a spray bottle. So put that back on, shake it, and then there you go. And that's how you have your room spray. Start lighting up your candles, of course. If you have a soy-based candle, that's always great. And let's get started with the meditation. So I have the crystals all around me. I also brought the selenite ones as well as the little room spray because I really wanted to be able to just smell that bergamot and cedarwood. It's very grounding. You can also just spray it on your hands. So take a deep breath. Make sure that you get comfortable and situated. If you are playing music, this would be a perfect time. Just deep breath through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Slowly close your eyes. Slowly start bringing the attention to your breath. Witness the rhythm. Is it slow or is it sporadic? Are you breathing through your chest? Are you breathing through your tummy? Have a soft, neutral spine. And if you need the wall, connect to the wall. Just make sure you're comfortable. You will need a couple of minutes to get settled in. Gently close your eyes and just start paying attention to the rhythm of your breath. If you need, you can also use the candles as a focal point to just keep your attention in one place. You can do a quick self-scan where you're scanning through your body from the top of your head, slowly and evenly down to your toes. How does your body really feel? Without judgment, just witness it. Start to see spring and fresh beginnings. Can you feel that sunshine? Where do you feel it? Do you feel it on your foot? Do you feel it as it warms your arm as you're driving your car? Feel it warming you through your entire body. If you have a tough time connecting with your breath, you can place your hands on your stomach. Really connect. So as you finish up your meditation, make sure that you grab your piece of paper and a pen, and this is your time to write down anything that has come up and anything that you're ready to release. And once you're finished, wrap up the paper, go outside, and set it on fire. But also make sure that you're careful. Hey guys, thank you so much for taking the time to join me in this video. I so appreciate this. I'm so glad that you have taken the time to actually connect with me here. If you are brand new here, obviously consider subscribing, and you can hit the notification bell so that you can always get updated every time I release a new video. I usually release a video about 2 to 3 times a week, depending on the week that we're looking at. And we kind of go into a few different topics. Sometimes we talk about green beauty and we review a few products that are non-toxic for you. Other times we do rituals such as this one, where we really just take the time to connect on a deeper level. And other times we just talk about how we can reduce our waste consumption and how we can become more conscious humans in general. So if that sounds good to you, then obviously consider subscribing. But generally what I like to do, because you may not know sort of what's going to be coming up when, I usually release a recap email to sort of help you out and be a little bit more conscious of your time. So each Sunday I release a recap email that shows some of the best takeaways from each of my videos, and also I kind of give you a brief description and overview of what you can expect for the following week, and that way you kind of don't miss anything. So if you wanted to sign up, I left the link down in the description. It's free and complimentary to help you out. And in the meanwhile, keep shining, you guys. Keep connecting to the moon, because she's always waiting for you. And I will see you guys again in my next video.